Kolbrin Bible, Book 5, Chapter 33, Speculation, Part 21. Whole chapter might retell the myth of Osiris, Isis, or Set, but the name for Isis doesn't match. MAN 3333. Men lacking understanding will say, I write about mortals and not gods. And this is true as it is false. The truth is that there are no fixed regions of gods, spirits, and mortals, separate one from the other. Neither are all these entirely separate and different forms of beings. There is no impenetrable boundary between mortals, spirits, and gods. Neither is it to be understood that mortals reach the status of gods entirely by their own efforts. Gods are chosen by the people and raised to godhood by the people for the benefit of the people. If they choose wisely, they are blessed. But if they choose unwisely, then whatever befalls is upon their own heads. As the people conceive their gods, so will they be. This is something hardly understood in these days. The worship of such gods is, of itself, neither right nor wrong, for this depends entirely upon its effects and objective. If it serves the purpose of good, if it is to the spiritual benefit of man, it guides in the right direction. If it does not, or if it be sterile or purposeless, then it is at best a misleading phantom. In its worst aspect, it is an instrument of evil. When a man ceases to believe in his God, the fault is not wholly with either. Each is at fault. Each has equally failed the other. The man no longer serves the God as the God no longer serves the man. Neither gains and both lose. A man without a God is neither a free man nor a whole being. His life is incomplete. He lacks something vital to his existence. When, from some cause, a god loses worshippers, he is no longer wholly a god. He becomes a god without ties, a wild god or wandering spirit, retaining some of his powers, but none of his rank. Such, then, is the nature of gods, who are but beings originating as mortals, further advanced along the road towards godhood than other mortals who chose them as representatives and leaders in the heavenly sphere. If you would live with truth, never confuse gods with God, for gods are but a step upward on the stairway from man to God. A break from the story, but it's interesting that he points out that gods are chosen by the people and raised to godhood for the benefit of the people. Remembering that Pharaoh was treated like a god, worshipped like a god, then when it refers here to people choosing the god for the benefit of them, and if they choose unwisely, then whatever befalls is upon their head. If the Nile flood didn't happen, or was less than it should be, or a natural disaster occurs, or even war that ended badly, then it would be thought that the Pharaoh does not have divinity, and the people might panic. This happens in many ancient cultures, of course. But even today, a leader or leaders must at least look like they are in control, even if they are not. It's just theater, but humanity does want certainty, something God does not offer. So, our leaders must appear in control or they will fall. Just as God's stature with society rises and falls with peace and prosperity, war and famine. When something bad happens, we cry out, why would God let this happen? He did. We did. We exercised free will. Even choosing to hand responsibility to others is a choice you will be held responsible for. The comment about if it be sterile or purposeless, it is at best misleading, at worst an instrument of evil, pointing out when man ceases to believe in God, it is both God and man's fault because equally failed each other.